everyone and welcome back to my channel. So we're at the end of September and I have with me all the books that I read this month, and I really did better than last month, so let's dive into it. So I'm going to start off with I'm King. Now, this is the first book in the Iron Face series and I had not read this at all before. It's a first time read for me. I'll tell you what, I actually enjoyed it. So I did not know what I was getting myself into, but just looking at it, I thought it's probably going to have lots of, thrones and palaces and kings and queens and things like that. But then it was quite surprising. By no way did all that happen. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, probably. But this felt like a little bit of Alice in Wonderland, plus maybe some elements of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know, it just felt like there were so many similarities between these books and this one, but I still enjoyed it come what may. Now, to be honest, I'm not really sure if I'll continue the series. It was good, but I don't know if I was intrigued enough to keep going. But if you're a first time reader of these kind of books, then I would definitely recommend you checking this book out. The second book I read was Ashanti. Yes, I finally read it, and I also have a review video up on my channel. I'll link it in the card up here if you want to check it out. I've got full deets on what this book is about and how I felt about it, and if you should try and check it out. But one thing I'll tell you for sure is that this book takes you on like a trip to Paris in the 1700s, and that trip is not worth losing out on. I definitely recommend you to try it out if you just want to escape from the books that you're reading at the moment. It's definitely a great read in that aspect. The third book I read was The Hobbit. I finally did this book and I'm super excited that I'm completely done with the Lord of the Rings series now. Well, at least the main ones. This book was also equally really good as the 3 books from the Lord of the Rings trilogy. One thing that I still did feel was the Lord of the Rings was a little bit more heavy. I don't know, I think every aspect of that book was a little bit heavy, and you feel like you're getting transported to Middle Earth and you're not, in reality anymore. It just feels more built with more depth. Yeah, I guess that's probably the right words. But The Hobbit, I didn't feel as much of that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the book. It's a great book and I totally liked it. But I just felt like Tolkien probably didn't build up the world as much as he did in The Lord of the Rings, and maybe that's because he already did it in Lord of the Rings. I don't know, but this was more easy to read than the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So if you haven't read it, then I would definitely recommend this as well. Now, the fourth book I read was one of my favorites this month, and that was Pumpkinheads. Oh gosh, just look at the cover in itself. It's beyond amazing. Now, I really wanted to read a book that was very autumnish and just to get me into the fall season, and I think there's no better book that actually encapsulates what autumn is than this book. So if there's one book that you want to read every fall, make it this one. And the best part was this book is not heavy at all. It's really light. It gives you a very easy feel, and it's not a really thick book of sorts or anything. It's a very light read. It's really small, and at the same time, by the time you're finished with the book, you just feel like that's it. You need some pumpkin soup, some pumpkin spice latte, and you're into autumn. So I think this was a great addition for me this year, and I do not have this as paperback or hardcover. I only have it on my tablet. So I think I'm definitely going to get a copy of this to read it every year. It's going to be my definite September read every year going forward. It's just one of the best autumnish books I've read, and I can't recommend this enough. Don't go into this looking for a plot, looking for a story, looking for character development. No, you won't get any of that here. If you're just going into it, go into it with a feel of what does fall mean, and the leaves and the pumpkin patch and a lot of s'mores. It's just so, I think comforting is the right word. So I would highly recommend this, just to have fun. And because it's also a graphic novel, it's just beautiful. You can just get into the season without even imagining anything, because everything is right there for you in the book, and that's why I really, really love this book. Now, the other two books that I also read were Asterix and the Class Act and Asterix and Oblique's birthday edition. So both of these books were really, really good. I'm so glad I'm getting through my Asterix binge this year because I really want to complete it. Asterix and the Class Act is mostly about another story. Oh, I think it was Asterix and the Chariot Race. Right, it's not Class Act, it's Chariot Race, I'm sorry. So Asterix and the Chariot Race is about like a chariot race that Asterix and Obelix end up getting themselves into, and it's just a nice breezy read like any other Asterix comics. But Asterix and Obelix's birthday was like the best thing for me because it's a collection of like really short stories commemorating the birthday edition, and it was really brilliant because you get to see what happens when they get old, what happens in so many different situations that they generally don't show you throughout the set of comics. Now, if you aren't an Asterix and Obelix fan and you haven't read any of their books before, this is not the book to start with. This is probably the last book you should read after reading all of the Asterix books, if you get what I mean. So these two books were also really, really good, and I thoroughly enjoyed them. So I think I did quite so many books this month than what I would have like ideally thought to do. There was one other book that I added to my TBR this month, and that was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, because I was trying to participate in the Affectionately Austen book club, which I'm still doing, but I really want to take Pride and Prejudice slow. I don't want to rush it and read it like for the heck of it, so I really wanted to get into the story. So I did start reading it, but I haven't completed it, so I'm going to continue reading it for October, and I will let you know once I'm done what my thoughts were, what I loved about the book, what I did not like about the book, anything of that sort. But I'm really, really excited for October. I've got some great books lined up, especially it being the spooky month of the year. And I also will have another video that's going to talk about different spooky recommendations, just specifically for Halloween, and also a mini haul. So I'm so excited to get those videos out for all of you. But if you enjoyed this video, do let me know what books you read this September in the comments below. What were your favorites? If you've read any of these books that I just shared, if you've read Pumpkinhead especially, and what you thought of it. And also do subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in another video. Bye!